Greetings and a very good day to you, Libras. Welcome to Wings of Libra, a place to rest your wings and uplift your spirit with guidance from the fairies. My name is KP and it is a blessing to be here with you. All right, let's fly right into our fairy wing reading for today. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy, and watching as many tarot reads for Libra as I have lately. There's been a lot of talk of pregnancy, fertility, so I brought out one of the fertility ones to wish you all the best. And for myself, I took that as, and some of you may resonate, like, I know I'm not pregnant. It's just, I know. So I received that as birthing new ideas, bringing forth things that haven't been here yet in the way that only we can bring them forth. So even if you're not physically pregnant, you might have something you're bringing forth, you're carrying into existence. So take care of yourself. Okay, let's see what the fairies have to tell us today. Who's with us right now? Ooh, okay. Looks like we have two that wanted to come out. So we'll go ahead. Okay, wow. So some of us may, well, we'll get into that in a moment, but when these come out in reverse, generally means that some of us may be blocking those energies, because generally they looking for some space here. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. Okay, so tell us about our wings. What do our wings look like? Whoa. You're back. Rawr. Okay. We had Rawr last time too, do you remember? Rawr is back. Enthusiasm. Some of us are pretty enthusiastic. Maybe it's about what we're birthing here. Kind of enthusiasm that it doesn't matter what other people think. I love this. I'm so happy this is here. Okay, tell us about our wings, fairies. Okay. Okay. Tomed Poet. Give us one more, fairies, to let us know about our wings. Give us at least one more. I remember the last time I asked you for one more and you gave me a few. So I won't hold you back. Don't ever try to limit a fairy. They'll show you why not. In our case last time, there was more we needed to know. Oh, okay. Feels like it's, oh, wow. Okay. The Lady of the Harvest. Very fitting. Auji from Sacred Libra is one of my favorite readers, and she actually had a card that made me think of this one from her Crow deck. I want to say maybe it was Autumn, but I'll have to go back to that particular one, but it reminded me of this one, so it was like I kind of took it as that. Oh, but I wanted to show who we had at the bottom of the deck. And this is the Bodacious Bodach. Okay, and from where I was holding, it was reversed, so we'll put this here for now. Okay, so let's dive into where we're at here. So first, let's go ahead and start off with this. So some of us may be blocking the energy of the fairy who was kissed by the pixies, and some of us may be blocking the energy of the fawn. Some of us may be blocking both, and some of us might not. And if you're not, well, awesome. That's great. Keep on doing what you're doing because you're in alignment with these ones. But for those of us that have maybe been blocking the energy of these two, but they're here with us, so I just received to best teach us how to realign ourselves. It would be helpful to talk about what they mean in their upright position so we can understand how we've been blocking them. So with the fairy who is kissed by the pixies, it's talking about when we start out with an endeavor, and it's telling us and reminding us to do the best that we can and then to make it even better, which is interesting. It reminds me of some of the readings from Empath Tarot with Alicia. She's been reading for all the signs, and in her Libra readings lately, she had been talking about mastering your craft and stepping into everything and becoming the master. And it's interesting because this card supports that and is talking about how we grow more like a master maker when we take the time to do our best, and then the next time we come into it to strive to do better than that, not to be in competition with others, but to, if anyone must be we must be in competition with, let it be ourselves, to be better than we were before. And when we block this energy, this might be when some of us might be tempted to do maybe not the best of work and maybe rush things. Some of us, especially if we've been struggling financially, some of us might be tempted to rush things or not do the best in order to just get the things done so we can do more, and kind of just rush things through things. And that was being called out. Some of us are being reminded to do our best and to keep doing our best, even if it takes more time, to just center yourself, to go about your work in your best possible way. And this also warns that it can be dangerous. I mean, imagine if somebody were building a house, or if somebody were wiring up a house, like with the electricity, and if they were trying to rush through it, that could cause dangerous situations for the people that are living there. While maybe the builders and whoever wired it up is already gone, what you leave behind is how people remember you. So do your best here. And if you already are, awesome, keep it up. For those of us that have been tempted, maybe we didn't actually go through with it, but maybe some of us were tempted to not show up as our best. Maybe we're being blocked by something. We're being encouraged to write that and align with our best, step into our best, and then keep stepping into our best. Here we have the Fawn. And the Fawn is actually a really, really, really powerful card and a wonderful, I mean, they're all wonderful cards. This card, though, is like effortless magic, basically. It's like natural magic is happening, and things that are flowing, they're just flowing into our experience easily. It's reminding us to enjoy it. But when we aren't allowing ourselves to enjoy what we're receiving, or maybe we're coming from a place of we're not feeling worthy, or maybe we're afraid to step into our best selves because of something we're carrying here. When this is reversed, this usually indicates that the situation, maybe because of the people involved, have become like bogged down with murky energy, and it advises to have a breath of fresh air, go for a walk outside, even if it's kind of cold. You bundle up, go get some fresh air, just maybe go touch a tree, like leave your hand on the trunk for a while, really reconnect with nature here, and just get some of the fawn spirit to flow to you, through you, because it will refresh you and help you come back to your natural self. This also advises us to continue eating well, even if we, I know there's holidays coming up and we might be tempted to go off the deep end, but this is still reminding us, like, of course, enjoy yourself, but don't enjoy yourself to the point of detriment. And that can go for beyond food. Food is just an easy example with the holiday coming up for me to bring up, but sometimes we might overdo it with other things like wine or cannabis or a whole number of other things. This is reminding us to find our center, definitely go outside. I mean, look at her, she's outside, look how happy she looks. And we'll get into the RAR. It's talking about, and it's funny that this came out last time too, but this is that like enthusiastic energy, and this might even go in hand here, where it's not necessarily that you might be coming from a lack perspective and wanting to do maybe not your best work because you're trying to get it done, but it might be that you're just trying to rush through things because you're so excited. That might be the case for some of us, where we're just like, oh, I just want to get this done, so it's okay if, you know, whatever looks kind of however. I mean, just getting it started is important, right? And it is, but this is reminding you to go back and make sure that you actually dot your I's and cross your T's. And of course, Libra, we like to make things beautiful, so go ahead and take some time to do that. And if you haven't been, then take some time to do that. Go outside, come back in, and let that enthusiastic energy keep going. It's interesting that these all came out upright. So we've been doing really good. A lot of us have been aligning with our enthusiasm and feeling pretty good overall. Here we have Taom the Poet. This card is a great card for musicians, poets, writers, anybody who expresses themselves creatively, or who has been wanting to, but maybe they haven't. This card is a definite sign that you're being encouraged to come out and do so, to go ahead and share whatever it is that you have been, your talent, or that you've been kind of keeping secret. It's also a really great card for going forth and actually doing the things that you're inspired to do. So if you've had a project that you've been holding on to, but maybe haven't let it come out yet because you've just kind of been sitting on it like if it were an egg, like maybe you were like the mama bird or papa bird, sitting on the egg and keeping it safe and warm, it's time to go ahead and start letting it grow. Here, if I remember correctly, this has an energy of lust about it. So with this card, the Gland Coner, we're basically being reminded that it's not good to make decisions out of a place of lust. And oftentimes lust, it tends to get attached to people, but I mean, this can be lust for not only a person, but a thing, or even an idea. So this has a lot of go for it, create, you have kind of energy to this entire reading. And this is here to remind us not to just be, thirsty after that success. We know it's coming. Wow. We know it is arriving. We know, if we've been watching the other tarot's readings, that we basically are set up for success. We've had a lot of wish fulfillment and cards of the such. So this is just reminding us, hey, it is arriving. Settle down. don't make decisions when you're blinded from this place. So if you're blinded by, okay, it's easy to see, or maybe for some of us, it's easy to see how someone might be making decisions while blinded from a place of lust for a person in a certain type of way. But it can also mean like, okay, say that you just really need some money right now, or you want some money right now to show up in your experience here, and you're just thirsty after that money, like how someone might be thirsty after a physical encounter. Some of us might make decisions out of that thirst for financial comfort or abundance or security or whatever it is that we want it for, that we aren't making the best decisions that we could be because we're coming from that place of lust. So even though it's not a place of sexual lust, it could still be a lust for, in the example I gave, financial ties, or comforts, or whatever it is. This is just reminding us that, especially with this energy, and it's interesting that these two are paired together at this area of the wing, is that even though we have all of this unbridled enthusiasm and let's go for it, especially once we've realigned ourselves with the fairy who is kissed by the pixies and the fawn, be mindful that you aren't just letting this enthusiasm take you to a place of lusting for the ideas so much that you make decisions while blinded, because that's never a wise thing to do. You want to make decisions when you've been grounded, when you've been centered, when you are in balance, especially with us as Libra people. I mean, it's one thing to be led by intuition, and it's another thing when we have other things weighing us down mentally, where it's like, okay, I feel intuitively I should do that, but then this, oh, but I have the energy to do that, so I should do that, oh, but then that. So it's like reminding us to find clarity, to go outside. Don't let ourselves be blinded by the wanting of our desires to manifest now, be it with another person, financially, what have you. Now let's move on into the Lady of the Harvest. So the Lady of the Harvest is all about change, about accepting this phase and moving on to the next phase. And it's reminding us that power and strength in the present and the future come from releasing the past. Some of us, sounds like, have been hurt beyond maybe what any of us have ever been hurt before. Like, did we just make an agreement on like the Libra train somewhere? We're like, hey, let's all get hurt at the same time, you guys. All right, sounds good. So that we don't have to hurt alone or something. I don't know. But it seems like throughout all the tarot reads, for the most part, somebody, or maybe some bodies, did a real number on us. And this is supporting that and acknowledging that and gently reminding us to let that go, to forgive. And it doesn't mean that we are allowing the behavior. That's entirely different. That is not forgiveness. That's enabling. That's allowing something you don't want. That is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not allowing that situation to have any power over you anymore, by forgiving it, letting it go, moving forward, finding what shiny pieces, what lotuses you can find in all that murky, energetic situation, and going from there. Sometimes it can be painful, and this is a time of liberation. Basically, we might as well just cooperate with it, because in another reading, I'm trying to remember who now, forgive me, it'll come back later, and I'll maybe put a link to that in the community part of the YouTube, but somebody had mentioned, now I'm trying to remember the name, I forgot what they had mentioned, but it was basically very supportive of this. It was saying, I just remembered now, they were saying that it's like spirit basically protected you from this. Like it was like, no. I think it was Auji actually who said that man's rejection is God's protection or something. I don't know if that's hers or if she got that from somewhere, but I remember hearing it for the first time from her. And it really resonated with me, because it wasn't just like a rejection, it was like I realized how sometimes it's not just a rejection from a person, but sometimes you'll want something and it doesn't work out, and it's like, why didn't that work? And it's like, because you were being protected. Like maybe you had a business idea and it didn't go through because the person you were working with would have really messed things up for you later, and you might not see it now or have seen it then, but if you had allowed the business to grow, or if it had continued to grow, maybe something like that would have happened where you were protected actually from that. So by cooperating with this time of letting go, then we can be more at peace with it, because it's happening whether we want it to or not. And it's reminding us that it's okay to cry if we need to, and be joyful, allow ourselves to be joyful. And if it's a mixture of them, that's okay too, even if we seem like we've lost it, like, you know, maybe crying and laughing at the same time, like, oh, I'm so sad that this didn't work out, but I'm so happy that it didn't, you know, work out because with that person, or however. This is just acknowledging how we feel and reminding us to acknowledge how we feel. Don't bottle it up. Acknowledge it. Take what you can from it. Grow with what you can from it, and let all the rest fall to the wayside. With this card being at the bottom of the deck, the Bodacious Bodach, I think that means old man. It was very interesting that this was upside down or reversed. And generally this card is associated with people that meddle in the fears of others, or maybe they gossip, or maybe they say they're trying to be helpful, but it's not quite as helpful as we would like it to be. Being that it was reversed, I'm getting that this might not necessarily be us, although if it is us, or some of us, maybe we might be mindful that we aren't meddling in the affairs of others. I don't feel that it's us, though. I feel that it's just reminding us to be aware. A lot of us might have family coming in this week as well, or we might have been talking to them today, or are going to talk to them today. And this is just helping us to keep in mind that forgive them if there are people like that in your life too, that in a lot of ways they might not seem like they're being very helpful. And instead of expecting them to change their ways for you, just keep in mind how you've seen them in the past, and tidy up your house. If you have things that you don't want them to go through, or if you have certain rooms that you don't let people go in, you know, hold to that. Set up your boundaries, and call upon your inner strength to actually enforce those boundaries. I know I've seen some people where they'll let people go into their other rooms, or it's like, oh, I didn't really want anyone in that area of my house, and it's like, okay, well, I'll tell them not to go in there, and it's like, oh no, it's okay, but it's like, but is it though? I mean, it's your home. People can sometimes bring in different things onto them, and sometimes people don't bring things, but you know, they might take them out, which in a way is a form of bringing something else as well. So we're reminded to just be mindful of energies like that, and if that's any of us, to definitely ease up on that. There are other things here. I mean, we are birthing great things here. So focus and align with that if we are the ones who are meddling. And if we aren't, be mindful of those that are. Bless them, forgive them, lock your stuff up. Okay, let's get an angel and ancestor card. Okay. Angels and ancestors, what can you add to this fairy wing reading for Libras today? Okay. White Witch, be the light. Yes, I am getting the feeling that where some of us might have been tempted not to do our best work, especially, we are being reminded to be the light, to allow the light to flow through us, and to know that we are protected, that our cup is being filled. And look, she has that pentacle for those of us that are waiting for our pentacles to come in. They're coming. Look at her. Focused. And she knows it's on its way. Okay, I will leave it here. I hope that some of you, all of you, hopefully were able to receive something that enlightened or helped you today. I hope that it resonated. I wish you all a wonderful evening, a very wonderful evening, and I'll see you in the next video.